Bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, the method of full awareness of breathing, developed and practiced continuously, will bring great rewards and advantages. It will lead to success in practicing the 4 establishments of mindfulness and the 7 factors of awakening, which will give rise to understanding liberation. One practices as follows. The first breath, breathing in a long breath. I know that I am breathing in a long breath. Breathing out a long breath. I know that I am breathing out a long breath. The second breath, breathing in a short breath. I know that I am breathing in a short breath. Breathing out a short breath. I know that I am breathing out a short breath. These 2 breaths enable you to cut through forgetfulness and unnecessary thinking, at the same time giving rise to mindfulness, enabling you to encounter life in the present moment. Forgetfulness is the absence of mindfulness. Breathing with awareness enables us to return to ourselves and to life. The third breath, breathing in, I am aware of my whole body. Breathing out, I'm aware of my whole body. This breath enables you to contemplate the body and be in direct contact with your own body. Awareness of the whole body and awareness of every part of the body allows you to see the wondrous presence of your body and the process of birth and death unfolding in your body. The fourth breath, I am breathing in and making my whole body calm and at peace. I am breathing out and making my whole body calm and at peace. This breath helps you realize calmness and peace in the body and arrive at a state in which mind, body, and breath are one harmonious whole. The fifth breath, I am breathing in and feeling joyful. I am breathing out and feeling joyful. The sixth breath, I am breathing in and feeling happy. I am breathing out and feeling happy. With these 2 breaths, you cross into the domain of feelings. These 2 breaths create peace and joy that can nourish mind and body. Thanks to the cessation of dispersion and forgetfulness, you return to yourself, aware of the present moment. Happiness and joy arise within you. You dwell in the wonders of life, able to taste the peace and joy mindfulness brings. Thanks to this encounter with the wonders of life, you are able to transform neutral feelings into pleasant feelings. These 2 breaths thus lead to pleasant feelings. The seventh breath, I am breathing in and aware of the activities of the mind in me. I am breathing out and aware of the activities of the mind in me. The eighth breath, I am breathing in and making the activities of the mind in me calm and at peace. I am breathing out and making the activities of mind in me calm and at peace. These 2 breaths enable you to look deeply at all the feelings arising within you, whether they are pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, and enable you to make those feelings calm and at peace. The activities in the mind mean, in this case, the feelings. When you are aware of your feelings, you can see deeply into their roots and nature. You can control them and make them calm and at peace, even though they may be unpleasant thoughts which arise from desire, anger, and jealousy. The ninth breath, I am breathing in and I'm aware of my mind. I am breathing out and I'm aware of my mind. The 10th breath, I am breathing in and I'm making my mind happy and at peace. I am breathing out and making my mind happy and at peace. The 11th breath, I am breathing in and concentrating my mind. I am breathing out and concentrating my mind. The 12th breath, I am breathing in and liberating my mind. I am breathing out and liberating my mind. With these 4 breaths, you pass into the 3rd domain, which is mind. The 9th breath enables you to recognize all the states of the mind, such as perceptions, thinking, discrimination, happiness, sadness, and doubt. You recognize and observe these states in order to see deeply into the mind's activities. When the mind activities are observed and recognized, you are able to concentrate your mind, making it quiet and at peace. This is brought about by the 10th and 11th breaths. The 12th breath enables you to release all obstacles of the mind. Thanks to illuminating your mind, you can see the roots of all mental formations and thus overcome all obstacles. The 13th breath, I am breathing in, observing the impermanent nature of all Dharma. I am breathing out and observing the impermanent nature of all Dharma. The 14th breath, I am breathing in, observing the fading of all Dharma. I am breathing out and observing the fading of all Dharma. The 15th breath, I am breathing in and contemplating liberation. I am breathing out and contemplating liberation. The 16th breath. I am breathing in and contemplating letting go. I am breathing out and contemplating letting go. With these 4 breaths, the practitioner passes into the domain of objects of the mind and concentrates the mind in order to observe the true nature of all Dharma. First is the observation of the impermanent nature of all Dharmas. Because all Dharma is impermanent, they all must fade. When you clearly understand the impermanent and fading nature of all Dharmas, you are no longer bound by the endless cycle of birth and death. Thanks to that, you can let go and attain liberation. Letting go does not mean to disdain or run away from life. Letting go means letting go of craving and clinging so that you do not suffer from the endless cycle of birth and death which all dharmas are subject to. Once you let go and attain liberation, you can live in peace and joy in the very midst of life. There is no longer anything which can bind you. So taught the Buddha how to observe deeply the body, feelings, mind, and objects of the mind through 16 methods of conscious breathing. He also applied the 16 exercises to practicing the 7 factors of awakening, which are full attention, investigating Dharma, energy, joy, ease, concentration, and letting go. We will now maintain noble silence.
And now I'd like to call up our incense lighters. And in your rituals and practice booklet, there should be one loose page that says incense offering. And we say together, in gratitude, we offer this incense throughout space and time to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May it be fragrant as art itself, reflecting careful efforts, wholehearted awareness, and the fruit of understanding, slowly ripening. May we and all beings be companions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May we awaken from forgetfulness and realize our true home. And we bow. Good morning, Sangha. Okay, I don't know why we have flowers up here. It's just, okay, great. Thank you. Okay, some courtesy announcements before we get going. Families with small children or anybody that needs a break for any reason, there's some toys downstairs and some water. Whatever you need, go for it. A water fountain, and there's a restroom downstairs. And if family members are trying to sit together, please give them some space if you know that's happening. Don't walk in front of the dais, and have fun while you chant. Okay, so we will get up and greet each other in silence with a bow, and then we'll do our rituals. All right, if you turn to page 7 in your rituals and practice. I go for refuge to Buddha, my deeply awakened mind, the living source of understanding and compassion, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to Dharma, the path of mindful living, leading to healing, joy, and enlightenment, the way of peace, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to the Sangha, the loving and supportive community of practice, realizing harmony, awareness, and liberation, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I am aware that the 3 jewels are within my heart. I vow to realize them. I vow to understand living beings and their suffering. I vow to cultivate loving kindness and compassion, to practice joy and equanimity. I vow to live simply and sanely, content with few possessions, and to keep my body healthy. I vow to let go of all worry and anxiety in order to be light and free. I am aware that I owe so much to my parents, teachers, friends, and all beings. I vow to be worthy of their trust, to practice wholeheartedly, so that understanding and compassion will flower, and I can help living beings be free from their suffering. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. And now please turn over to page 8 and we will chant our Heart Sutra. Brahma Prajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra. Bodhisattva of great compassion, from the deep practice of prajna paramita, perceived the emptiness of all 5 skandhas and delivered all beings from their suffering. O Shariputra, form is no other than emptiness, emptiness no other than form. Form is emptiness, emptiness form.
The same is true of feeling, thought, impulse, and consciousness. O Shariputra, all dharmas are empty. They are not born nor annihilated. They are not defiled nor immaculate. They do not increase nor decrease. So in emptiness, no form, no feeling, no thought, no impulse, no consciousness. No eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. No form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or objects of mind. No realm of sight. No realm of consciousness. No ignorance, nor extinction of ignorance. No old age and death, nor extinction of them. No suffering, no cause of suffering, no cease from suffering, no path to lead out of suffering, no knowledge, no attainment, no realization, for there is nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva holds on to nothing but prajna, paramita. Therefore the mind is clear of any delusive hindrance. Without hindrance there is no fear. Away from all perverted views, one reaches final nirvana. All Buddhas of past, present, and future, through faith in prajna, paramita, attain to the highest perfect enlightenment. Know then the prajna, paramita, is the great Dharani, the radiant, fearless mantram, the utmost supreme mantram, which is capable of allaying all pain. This is true beyond all doubt. Proclaim now the highest wisdom, the prajna, paramita. Gate, gate, hara gate, hara samgate, bodhisattva. Gate, gate, hara gate, hara samgate, bodhisattva. Gate, gate, hara gate, hara samgate, bodhisattva. Prajna, paramita, Redaya, Sutra.
Please be seated.
So before we get started on our talk, I'd like to say a little bit about the Heart Sutra. That the Prajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra translates as the great perfection of wisdom, heart teaching. In Asian language, heart and mind are the same word, just one word. There's a lot of talk here about emptiness, and that can be a real rabbit hole once you start studying it. The simple idea about emptiness is that nothing is permanent, it all changes, and that nothing stands on its own, that there's interbeing and interness of all things. It's all one thing. So if you're new here, or maybe even if you've been around a little while and you're very familiar with the Four Noble Truths, well, then when you hear that there's no suffering, no cause of suffering, no cease from suffering, no path to lead out of suffering, and then it also says somewhere nothing to attain, and then we go down a little bit farther, and all Buddhas, wow, I gotta remember this one. All Buddhas of past, present, and future through faith and prajnaparamita attain. So, okay, what's this all about? I mean, you got to be thinking, what in the heck? I loved a word that I think I heard first from Kunga, provisional. All here, this whole thing, you, me, us, them, cushions, chairs, lights, whatever, all this duality is provisional. And what I think is we're here for this reason, not just me. We're here and separate because we need to learn some things. And these things we only can learn in this world of duality. The Heart Sutra just takes us way above that. It takes us to the ultimate reality, the way it really is. We're all Buddhas. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to attain. On the other hand, we have all this stuff we have to learn in order to get to that place. Wipe the mud off of the crystal ball. So, the talk today is titled, Can Buddhists Believe in God? So I'd like to tell a personal story. I went to California a couple of months ago to be with grandkids and to help my son with my grandsons. And I also have a great grandson. I have 5 grandsons and 1 great grandson. This 71-year-old man decided to drive across country because I thought I might stay longer. Oh my goodness. Highway 80. I had forgotten. I've done this 4 or 5 times in my life, I think. It's desolate. It's beautiful in some ways, but the trucks get to go the same speed you do. And in the wintertime, there's lights, and it says if it's blinking, this road is closed, and you could be in the middle of nowhere, 50 miles from anything. Anyway, so it was stressful, and I was practicing, and I was trying to be in the moment and meditating while I was driving, not closing my eyes, but just trying to be with it all. Then I get to my son's house, and he's got this dog, a cane corso. They are Roman war dogs. They are badder than pit bulls, and I love dogs, but this dog had me a little on edge. It greeted me and everything was great. But then it was kind of late in the evening. My son had to go to bed early, so I have a key to the place. I had to go out and do something. I come back, and there's this dog down a dark hallway. And I look at it, and it just starts barking. I'm, John, help! John comes out. I mean, that spun me like a clock. I got to admit it. I was full of fear. It never did anything but try to love me and lick me. But it got me going for a while. I paid money to go to a trainer, and I was spun like a clock. the refuge vow, I vow to let go of all worry and anxiety in order to be light and free. Okay. I was practicing, I vow to worry and to be anxious in order to be heavy and imprisoned. Really? I mean, I was right. I've been studying for a while and I've got these robes, but you know what? This guy is just as human as all the rest of you. With practice, we string some calm, peaceful awakeness at times together, but it's still, man, life can give us lessons. I went to an AA meeting. Now, I got sober in 1987, and for 10 years, I was on my knees every day, praying to my higher power. And when I went to that meeting, it brought me back to that time. Because when I look at what I was feeling feeling alone and fearful. And the practice was there, but not really. The practice was all in my head. My heart was just full of all kinds of stuff. When we started the recovery program, it was Amco, Tony. I see Tony. Hi, Tony. Kwan. And we had come up with some steps, but I was solid into AA still and trying to insert higher power. Can't we insert higher power here? They'd say, no, we're not doing that. Then I got the Shin Shin Ming, which I'll talk about a little bit later, a little booklet that our first teacher, Doc One, told me, you don't need to know anything about Zen, just study this book. Some other Zen people would argue with that a bit. There was one person here in particular, Ansu, who said, no, you need more than that. But it is the essence of Zen. And I looked in there and there's all kinds of things capitalized. So I saw higher power all over the place. Well, it's interesting. I after that meeting, a couple of things happened. And I decided, once again, I'm going to get on my knees every morning and recite this prayer. And when I did, my teacher, Shuji, when I recited it to her, she said, and I didn't prompt her, I didn't say anything about this experience with Amko and Kwan. I said it to her and she goes, wow, that's full of Shin Shin Ming. So, God, I give myself to you to build with me and do with me as you will. Relieve me of the bondage of self that I may better do your will. Take away my difficulties that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of your power, your love, your way of life. May I do your will always. Bondage of self. I was in the bondage of self. And I can't possibly do God's will when that is happening. There's something really important here. You got to define, if you want to, you can believe whatever you want to and be a practicing Buddhist. But typically the company line is there's nothing to pray to. We certainly don't pray to the Buddha, the wooden one here or the historical one. We would define God like we would the ocean. I like that analogy. That God is the ocean and the ocean is everywhere. And we're a wave, each of us, momentarily coming up and going back down. And in this reality, we all think we're just the wave and this is it. And this is, no. It's all the ocean. It's all together. We just have these little blips that are us. So we got to define that. And the other, boy, and this can, I've heard it more than one time when I was in AA meetings. I got it. I'm in tune with my higher power. I really needed a parking place and it opened up. I was praying for those Detroit Lions and they won. Nope. Where I think, and probably you think too, where we can find God, if you want to play along with that idea, is we can find it in the four immeasurables or the four abodes. If you're practicing these, you're doing God's will. You're doing the ocean's will. You're doing the universe's will. A lot of people have problems with that God word. I certainly have had my moments with it. So it's loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. Loving kindness is to be friendly, kind. Amko gave me a great little trick that I try to use whenever I'm out in public. He said, you see the name tag on a clerk or somebody that's helping you? Call them by their name. I have never done that and not gotten a smile. You know, it's like our name is attached to us. And when somebody says it, it kind of lightens the mood a little bit. Loving kindness, compassion. We vow to relieve suffering in the world, in ourselves and the others. Sympathetic joy. I have joy for you. I even have joy if you got the promotion that I thought I should have gotten. Sympathetic joy battles jealousy. And then equanimity, which is a huge one for me personally. I think most of you know I have bipolar disorder. If I make it to December 7th, it'll be 16 years since the mania stopped and I tried suicide. So I'll have 16 years December 7th. Pearl Harbor Day. So when we live in these loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity, we're immersed in the ocean. And when we're truly leaving those, we're doing the ocean's will. And if this is your first time here and you don't know much of anything about what Buddhism is or what's going on, or if you've taken the Bodhisattva class and you've been around here for 10 years or 12 years or however long, you can be a Bodhisattva. For a moment, you're not going to live it, well, I don't know. I haven't met anybody here or myself or anybody anywhere that does that 24/7. But we do it sometimes. And then we're a Bodhisattva. And then we go to sleep and become idiots. And then we're a Bodhisattva again. So the refuge vows. This is where excuse me. I'd been going to the refuge vows before I did the third step prayer in AA. And I was feeling alone in my practice. And number one, I can't be alone if it's all one thing, but I can if I don't see that. The one in particular, I go for a refuge to the Sangha, the loving and supportive community of practice, realizing harmony and awareness and liberation, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I knew that, but I wasn't cultivating it. We have the Sangha right here, but don't think you just have it for an hour or two on Sunday. We are always with you. You know, the whole thing is always with you, but particularly this Sangha, this group. Put us in your hearts. We're always with you. The three jewels are within my heart. I vow to realize them. So the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And if you wake up to that, you're never truly alone. So, in summary, we do God's will, the ocean's will, with the four immeasurables or four abodes, four places we live. I missed something. Yeah, before I summarize, that was one. I looked up refuge when I was playing around with this idea. Let's define it. Let's go to the dictionary. And the synonyms are shelter, sanctuary, haven, harbor. Shelter, sanctuary, haven, harbor. I'm really safe when I'm immersed in this. I'm comforted. I'm with. I am not without. So we have those four immeasurables, four abodes, where we can do the ocean's will. We can find the Lord in the refuge vows or in Shin Shin Ming. Oh, and I didn't read the Shin Shin Ming. See, I do these notes and I didn't read you guys the Shin Shin Ming one. Okay, where is it? Because that was a good one, and it's written downstairs. Shane helped me write it. Okay, Shin Shin Ming, 25 stanzas in this little poem that you can study for a lifetime. To know this reality directly, and this is number 21 out of 25 stanzas. To know this reality directly is possible only through practicing non-duality. When you live this non-separation, all things manifest the one, and nothing is excluded. Whoever comes to enlightenment, no matter when or where, realizes personally this fundamental source. Fundamental source, higher power, God. I'll read it one more time. To know this reality directly is possible only through practicing non-duality. When you live this non-separation, all things manifest the one, and nothing is excluded. Whoever comes to enlightenment, no matter when or where, realizes personally this fundamental source. Realizes personally, I can have a personal relationship with the ocean. How couldn't I if I'm immersed in it? The wave and the ocean are one. So I summarized the four immeasurables, the Shin Shin Ming, God in the ocean, and we can have a personal God. So we're going to prepare ourselves for meditation. Before that, are there any questions about this, comments before we go into meditation? How many here believe in God? Cool. How many accept the idea of oneness in Buddhism or anywhere? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Whatever. I mean, this talk is not in any way, shape, or form trying to convince you you should believe in God. It's just that further stretch into that oneness. That's where we can be. So sit with that oneness in this meditation, however is comfortable for you. And we bow. Okay, our next portion is joys and concerns, where we share with each other a little bit of what's going on in our lives, joyfully, or joylessly, or concerns. And I'm going to go first. My good friend Kwan is here today, and that fills my heart. And yeah. And I am headed back to those 5 grandkids and 1 great grandson for a few months. My last day here will be December. Yeah. Anyway, I'm heading out December 10th, so I won't see you then for a while. But I'll be back. So, anyone else?
I started my new job at the casino, and that is a joy. But the concern is that the schedule is overnight, and that is quite tough.
A few months, excuse me, a few months ago, my brother died, and I had the privilege of being with him for 1 week during his death. And during that time, his daughter said to him, Daddy, and she's 45, Daddy, she said, what is it that you want? And he was a gruff, crabby old man, and he said, tie me to a tree and let the bears eat me. And she said, Daddy, that's not legal. So he said, then I want to go up with a big boom and lots of colors. So in a few days, I'm going to Phoenix, and his wife has found a pyrotechnics person, seriously, who's going to put his ashes in 3 huge fireworks, 1 for him and 1 for each of his children. And he's going to set them off in front of the house. And his wife said, well, what if that's illegal? What if they my neighbors call the police? And he said, lady, by the time the police come, I'll be long gone.
Else? Anything online? No. Okay, so let's hold these joys and concerns while we listen to one strike of the bowl. We bow. Announcements. Let's see. The board is meeting today from 11:30 to 1. All Sangha members are invited to observe. We have Buddhist-based recovery programs meeting Mondays at 6:30 here for meditation, 7 o'clock for the regular meeting. Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. at the Alano Club, which is 1020 College. Fridays, 10:05 meditation, 10:30 meeting. If you'd like more information, you can talk to me or Kaji-su. Or David left. Okay, so it's us two. There's an online meditation group on Wednesdays from 7 to 7:45 that meets via Zoom. Contact Reverend Kunga for more information. And there's a Thursday Dharma discussion group from 9:30 to 11, meets here at the temple. They're reading and discussion groups meeting through December 21st. I think they changed from the Samyutta Nikaya to something else. Something by a book by Thich Nhat Hanh. If you haven't read it, it's great discussion. And yeah, so don't worry about that. The temple auction has started online. It went up on November 15th at 8. Is there any?
Well, you're absolutely right. So the temple auction,
Oh.
They have an online auction. It's going to run for a month. It's the result of incredibly creative and generous people from the Sangha and beyond. There's QR codes at either bulletin board at the ends of the temple, as well as in the newsletter. Excuse me. We would ask if you would send that link to at least one other person. There's some, I don't know if you've had the opportunity to get on, but it's a really nice platform. And Anna, could you put your hand up? Anna is a wizard on the computer and helping us pull that together, as well as a very talented photographer. These 2 quilts will be online for auction, as well as several paintings in the front entrance. Anything else, Anna, that you can think of that I've left out? Okay. Yes, and just send it to 1, maybe 2 people. That would be great. Thank you.
Any other announcements from the floor?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anna, and I'd like to talk about Dana. Our temple operates solely on volunteer efforts and donations. In Buddhism, this is the practice of cultivating generosity, or dana. No one at the temple receives compensation of any kind, and the temple exists only because of our generosity. So there are various ways to contribute. If you're interested in a monetary donation, you can visit zengr.org/donate, which will take you to PayPal. For those on YouTube, there's a button under the video called Show More or See More, and that will also lead you to PayPal. There are dana boxes at each end of the temple with a QR code that will also lead you to PayPal, or you can leave cash or a check. And if you are interested in donating material goods, you can see Nikki, who can tell you what kind of goods we are in need of at any particular time. So thank you for your support.
Thanks, Anna.
Thank you, Anna. Hello, my name is Gajisu, or Shane. I just wanted to invite everyone tomorrow to the 24th annual Interfaith Thanksgiving celebration that I'll be speaking, and Nassim Skar will be with me, or Jeremy.